Okay, well, we are recorded right now, and I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you, Jamie, as well as Joe, for your kind words, your comments, and just a phenomenal job in the presentation earlier today. But folks, those of you who are listening here today, we're going to cover, I think, one of the most crucial aspects, really, for new distributors who get involved with us here in NHT Global, as well as those that want to jumpstart their business, those that want to go into a major momentum. It's really, I'm going to keep this training very, very simple, but again, very, very powerful. And again, we got trainings here that we do every Wednesday night. I just want to start off with that for those of you that are going to be watching this recorded as maybe one of the first videos. But really, this is a webinar that we do every Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, by top leaders here at NHT Global, talking about a different business building topic that also gets recorded. So you have basically an online university where you'll have training at your disposal 24/7, and I'm just blessed to be part of that leadership. And I'm sure you can read my story, hear my story, how I got involved in the industry. More importantly, why I am here in NHT Global. And I'm just pinching myself every single day how extremely I don't know if you want to call it lucky, but truly being able to attract this company, NHT Global, because of the superior people and leaders that are part of this company. And that's more important than anything else. So I'm ready to get started here. I want to talk to you about an in-home event, having an in-home presentation. Whether you're brand new, you've been in the industry for a year, 2, 5, 10 years, I'm going to go over pretty much a guide that will get you started from A to Z, basically from the time you get to invite all the way towards the end of your in-home event, and even the next day, basically A through Z, inviting to enrolling an in-home presentation. Now, I can easily cover each slide and make it into a topic in itself, but I don't want to do that here. I want to just kind of go over the importance of why you should do an in-home presentation, whether you want to focus on a product orientation or a business orientation. I'm going to give you just some highlights of what categories take place to have a successful in-home, and what you shouldn't do in each of these categories. And again, this is all solely to help you build your business, your future, your organization, your team, and that's why we're doing this. So hopefully, as we cover these slides and this information, you'll be empowered to apply 1, 2, 3, or 10 little nuggets that you hear from here and make your business bigger than when it was prior to this training. So I'm going to cover the 5 parts to focus on for a successful in-home event. Again, I'm just going to cover some highlights here, but the first part is the decision making, okay? The second part, I'm going to go into these in detail, but the second is the invite promoting part of the in-home event. Number 3, we're going to be covering, again, the importance of what to do the day before your event. We're going to talk about the event day, the exciting, fun day, and also the day after the event. You see, when you have an in-home presentation, whether you have it for one person or 25 people, it doesn't matter. There's 5 parts to having a successful in-home event, okay? So that's what I want to cover with all of you. I want to start off with the decision. This is very important. I think This is what's going to be the deciding factor whether your in-home event is going to turn out the way you want it to turn out. Okay? So, when? Okay? When should I have my in-home event? Well, my rule of thumb is the sooner the better. When I've had some people in my organization ask me, well, I have an opportunity to do it like in 2 weeks and an opportunity to do it in 4 weeks. My answer will always be 2 weeks. Why? Why would you want a way to build your business 4 weeks from now from a powerful event instead of doing it in 2 weeks? So the sooner the better, making the decision to have an in-home event. You want to decide picking a day and a time of the event. I want to go over this really, really briefly, but again, this is very, very important. When you pick a day to have an event at your home, you pick the day and event that is beneficial for you. An event that you can do where you have the focus, the time, and the date. Don't make the event on a day or a time based on one individual or based on what you think others. You create the day and the time, and the right people will show up at the event. Now, you also have to make a decision. How many people do you want at your event? This is so crucial when creating an event. Now, again, I've been doing in-home events for the last 12 years being in this industry. And again, how many people do you want to have? I think a lot of people, when they create the event, the mentality is, well, let's see who comes. That's not a goal as far as let's see who comes. You have to create a goal. You got to say, I want to have 12 people at my event. I'm going to make an in-home event. I'm going to create an in-home event, and my goal is to have 12 people at my in-home, okay? Or it's 6 people, or it's 20 people. You have to make the decision before anything else happens. How many people do you want at your event, okay? Then you got to decide what type of event do you want to have. Do you want to have a product focus event, or do you want to have a business focus event? We're going to cover that, okay? And you got to create a list of names so you can invite and promote your event to these people. These are very crucial steps here. And you got to start visualizing the success of your event. You got to already see your event the way you want it to be. You have to already see as if it already happened. No different than how we talk about beginning with the end in mind. If you want to have 20 people, you want to have a business opportunity focus event, then you got to see 20 people in your home, and that event actually is taking place and has taken place already. Very crucial to begin with the end in mind. And last but not least, you have to go all in for your event. If you're going to take the time to create an event, you got to be all in. What do I mean by all in? Mentally, you got to be all in. You got to be prepared. You got to be organized. You have to have it planned. And you got to do the little things that is crucial to making your event successful. It doesn't matter if your event's going to be big, and it doesn't matter if your event's going to be small. If you're going to have any type of event, make sure that you go all in. So, what not to do in this category. And I'm going to cover each category and then kind of go over a reverse psychology, what not to do. And I kind of covered this. And really, when you make a decision, what you don't want to do is pick a date based on one person or based on a time that's based on that one person. Remember, the right people will show up at your event regardless of the day and the time that you are going to have your event. So, let's talk about the next category, and that is what? Invite and promote. This is one of the most important categories to determine if your in-home will be a success. We talked about the mental aspect of making the decision, but here's where the work, the activity starts in making your in-home event successful. You got to be excited when you're inviting people to your event. You got to be excited. You got to be enthusiastic, and you got to be authentic. It's got to be real. Your excitement's got to be real. It can't be a made-up excitement. If it's made up, then you don't really know what you have here. If you can sit and think of what you have here in NHT from a product aspect, from a compensation plan aspect, from a timing aspect, from leadership alone, from the global markets, if that alone doesn't excite you and it doesn't come out, then you need to take a look at exactly what it is that you have here with NHT Global. Because if you do, it's going to come out automatically, which is authentic. That's very important. Now, when you're inviting, you want to make your invite short and to the point. When I talk about short and to the point, and I'm talking about invite, I'm talking about calling people. I'm not talking about flyers. I'm not talking about emails, and I'm not talking about Facebook or social media platforms, because that's important and it plays a big role in the invite process. We're going to talk about that. But when you're calling people, that is the most leveraged, the most highly successful way to get people to come to your event. So short and to the point. Don't make this call to invite somebody to your event at your home more than 6 minutes, if that. What I mean is that allow 5 to 6 minutes for that invite to occur. Nothing more than that, because you want it solely focused on that event, not the small talk that happens after that. You want it to be strictly focused on that event, which is your in-home. You want to talk to them as if you already see them coming to your event. We're going to cover that when we kind of role play a couple of ways of how you can invite people. And you want to invite twice as much people as your goal. So if you made a goal that you want 10 people to come to your event, my rule of thumb is always to invite twice the amount of people than what you want to have. Because the reality is, this is what's going to happen, but I'm going to show you, I'm going to share with you how to minimize the cancellations or the no-shows. They're going to happen regardless, but there's a way you can truly minimize it by your message and, again, by your energy. But, again, if you invite twice as much and your energy is great and you have twice the amount of people, would that be a good thing or would that be a bad thing for your business? That obviously would be a remarkable thing for your business. Now, the most successful tool, again, is the personal phone invite. Not the email, not the flyer, not the invite via Facebook, or because those are important, okay? But you want to invite people by phone and use the flyer / event that you created on Facebook or anywhere else as a follow-up invite to your phone invite. Now, if you do use a flyer or you use an invite and you invite, because, again, marketing has changed, technology has changed, and there's a lot of people, they don't answer their phones like they used to because everything is all on a social platform, texting and stuff like that. If you do use an invite and you invite somebody, follow it up with a phone call. The phone call is very crucial to the success of the people coming to your event, okay? Now, start inviting no earlier than 12 days in advance. What do I mean by that? You don't want to start if you have an event 3 weeks out or a month out, don't start inviting people 3 or 4 weeks before the event for that event. Because what you're telling yourself is that you're not going to enroll anybody prior to your event, and you're using your event solely for hopefully that you can build your business, which is great. But what if you were able to enroll 2, 3, 4, 5 people prior to your event and now have 5 people that can also invite to your in-home event? Now talk about building momentum. you know, we're having a Chicago event coming up very, very soon here, which I'm very excited about. And yes, I posted flyers and I posted it on my walls and this and that. But I called people, and most of my calls are actually happening right now. They're happening today, yesterday, tomorrow. Why? Because we're looking at about 10 days out from the event. This is when I start calling and inviting everyone that I know that would want to know about that information, just like if it was my in-home. If it was my in-home on March 16, that's what I would do. I'd start calling today and every day up until my event. Very important that you don't. Now, you always invite up until the hour prior to the event, but you never want to invite to an event because a lot of people put it aside. Yeah, it's time. It's far away. I got time to make a decision. You're going to wind up talking to them again anyways. But try to focus on building your business prior to your in-home, and then when it comes to about 10 to 12 days before, now is when you start building for your event. Now, there is no one-size-fits-all in your invitation. I'm going to share with you different ways that you can promote your event when you're calling your people. And again, I just quickly put something together. There's so many different ways that you could do this. But again, you're not reading to people. You're not a robot. I'm just giving you some concepts or some guidelines, but make it your own. And again, depending on the person that you're talking to, you want to change it based on what would be advantageous for that individual that you're talking to. But again, you can get all the direct approaches, the side approaches, the indirect approaches. Joe Garcia does a phenomenal training on that on steamteam.ca. However, it's no different than inviting to a webinar or inviting to a one-on-one meeting or inviting somebody to a recorded call. It's just that you're inviting somebody to your in-home as a tool to expose your business and your products. But it's exciting because it's your home, and you want to be able to get people to hear and feel that excitement, okay? So it's not going to be the same for everybody depending on who they are, how well you know them, okay? So whether you have a product-oriented in-home or a business-oriented in-home, I'm just going to share with you just, again, a couple of different ways that you can invite people, okay? This isn't written in stones. I just want to give you the concept of how, again, you know, I have a guideline that I use, and that's the SASA guideline. Basically, I share my story, I share my excitement, I share why I'm calling them, and then I ask if they're open to receiving the invitation or the tool, and then again, I schedule a follow-up, but the follow-up will be after you're in home, and that's it. So I share my, so there's no different here, but I'm just going to go over a couple of things, but when you're doing a product or oriented event at your home, you can call it a facial clinic. You can be doing an anti-aging party or an anti-aging clinic or a ladies' night out. There's so many different themes that you can create your product-oriented event, which, again, creates some creativity, gets people excited, whatever it is. You can do whatever you want. And basically, when you're going to do a product-oriented in-home, you must demonstrate the facelift system, our 30-minute non-surgical facelift system. Whether you want to do a half a face, you want to do a full face, that's up to you. You can talk to the person, your business partner, your upline, and basically, again, you can come up with the way. Again, I'm not going to tell you how you should be doing the actual event. I'm just giving you, again, some guidelines, how simple it is, keeping it simple. So again, in the beginning, when you're making a decision, what do? You decide the type of event that you have, and then you give it a theme. People like to, again, it's easy to promote a theme and get some excitement. So those are kind of some ideas. There's some other ones out there. I'm just sharing something as simple as that can get people interested. In regards to the business-oriented in-home, you're having a grand opening, a grand business opening. You want people to know that, you got something big going on in the business world. You want to call it a new business launch, a transformation event, whatever it is, give it a name and, again, create the excitement around that. And, again, basically in a business-oriented in-home, you're going to do some product sampling and basically you're going to present. And I'm going to show with the different ways of presenting. But again, you're going to do a presentation on the opportunity and basically sample out some of the products that we have. That's simple. Okay, so again, you can be creative and combine both of these together. And again, there's somebody in your team that has knowledge and experience of doing one of these or combining both of them, putting your creativity together and make it a successful event. Now, when you're inviting for a product-oriented in-home, again, I'm just going to give you some concepts here. Your invite could go something like this. Jackie, I'm hosting a ladies' getaway at my home Thursday night next week at 7 p.m. You're going to get a 30-minute facial treatment and learn about some amazing beauty and skincare products that can help you look 10 years younger in 30 minutes. I'd love to have you attend, Jackie. Can I count on you being here? And just listen and see what she's going to say. Jackie may start asking, what is that? Did you get involved? And so what do you, and remember when I said in the beginning, you want to keep this invite very, very short. You don't want to get into the details because that's the purpose of them coming to your event so they can get the details at the event. Okay? So, again, that's just one way. Here's another one. Jackie, John, Sue, whoever you're going to talk to, hey, I found a facial system. By the way, this is something that Joe Garcia has taught as well, too, and it works 99% of the time. I found a facial system that was developed by medical doctors who launched the first ever 30-minute non-surgical facelift system. I am inviting some important people who would like to experience the system at my house next Sunday at 2 p.m. Can I count on you attending? Now, I'm using a phrase that has worked for me for a long period of time, and that is, can I count on you being here? That is a phrase that kind of hits the psychology of the person who is listening to it. Can I count on you? A lot of people like to be counted on. They want to know that if you're asking to be accountable, the person to be accountable, people want to say, yes, you can count on me. Okay? Now, there's times where they can't come because they have an event or something like that. But remember, people will change things, change their schedule to come to something that is of value to them. People will drive from other states just to do a product demonstration, experience a product demonstration. Okay? So, again, tell them exactly why you're calling them. Share your excitement. Share your enthusiasm. Be authentic. And, again, invite them to your in-home. Now, if you have a business-oriented invite, okay, again, I just put this together really, really quickly. Again, there's lots of guides you can use, a direct approach, an indirect approach, or whatever. But, again, just giving you just a guide. Jackie, my wife and I are excited to launch our new global business that we get to build from our home. And we're having a special grand opening launch next Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. I would love to have you come and learn about how my wife and I will be building a full-time income this year on a part-time basis. It may or may not be for you, but I would love to have you attend with your husband. Can I count on you being here? So I'm sharing my excitement. I'm telling them the truth. It's exactly what I'm doing, what I got involved with. I'd love for you to come and listen to it. Or you could say, I'd love to come and have you hear the opportunity. It doesn't matter to me if you join. It matters to me that you hear about the opportunity that me and my wife, or you and your husband, are building, okay, from a support structure. Okay? Again, I'm just giving you a concept. You can twist it, change it, use whatever. You tell them the truth. You share your excitement. and you talk to them as if you know they're already coming. Okay? Here's another one. Jackie, I'm hosting a new business event at my home next Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and wanted to invite some special people to hear about a business model that you can build from your computer part-time and build a solid residual income program. And I'm going to throw this in because this is what comes out to the top of your head. You know, Jackie, there's so many online business opportunities out there. You hear them all the time. You know, they all sound the same. They all look the same. But listen, I got a very special guest that's coming to present the business model at my home. And I believe you're going to love what you see and hear. Can I count on you attending? And hear what they're going to say. So again, just giving you how simple it is and let go of whatever outcome, and whether they say yes, no, it doesn't matter. Your goal, it's just like inviting somebody to a barbecue party. You're inviting, you're excited, you're going to get people together. They know it's obviously to eat, okay? And whether they come or not, great. You'd love to have them, but if they don't, great, you know? And again, share your excitement, share your energy, gear it towards what it could do for them, share your vision, okay? And again, get a response from them. Now, if they cannot attend but they have an interest, that's when you can schedule a one-on-one meeting or get them to review a tool. I get a lot of distributors who will say, you know, I'm not going to invite this person because I think they may have school, or I think it doesn't matter. Invite them anyways. Let them tell you they can't come. Because if they're interested but they can't come because they got school, now you got another interested person who can take a look at your business by maybe scheduling in a home earlier, maybe after your event, or potentially giving them a live webinar to get on, like the one Jamie did prior to this training. We have webinars we do Monday through Thursday and one that we do on Saturdays. Or you can give it a recorded webinar. So it gets you an opportunity to get somebody who maybe can't come to your event, but now has an interest to find out what it is that you're doing, that you can now schedule an appointment to meet with them or follow up with them after you give them a piece of information. Okay? What do you not do in the category of inviting and promoting? Okay? Don't make your invite calls longer than 6 minutes. Okay? Don't be dependent on mass passive marketing such as flyers, emails, or Facebook to get your in-home flooded. You can send it out to thousands of people. There's some background noise. There's a phone ring. If you can put yourself on mute, that would be great. We can hear the background noise. But don't be dependent on passive marketing such as flyers, emails. You can use this as a follow-up to your phone invite, or do a phone invite after you've sent it to them. But don't just invite people. There's some people you don't know, and, you know, hey, that's great. You can send them all you want. That's great. But give them a call if you have their number. Send them a quick instant message. Send them a quick email that you can get on the phone with them so you can do a phone invite in addition to these. Don't invite negative people. If you know your neighbor is negative and they come in with a frown face, the last thing you want is an infected person to infect other people that may be somewhat positive about it, somewhat negative about it. You don't know, but you don't want to have a negative person infect their negativity to those in your home. Don't invite negative people, okay? The importance here is not inviting a lot of people to your in-home. If you could do that and their quality, absolutely. But quality over quantity all the time, okay? And again, don't invite too early. Don't be inviting 1 month in advance to an in-home that's going to happen 4 weeks when you're talking to them, okay? Don't dictate your success based on one individual. If you got somebody who says, yeah, I'm going to bring 10 people, great. You don't stop inviting because, oh, great, I can only 10 people. If people could be standing wall to wall to wall and there's no room to sit, that's actually more exciting. It gets people more excited, believe it or not, than having 6 or 7 people sitting comfortably in a big open space. There's some energy when there's a crowded amount of people looking at an opportunity. People are like, wow, Something's going on here. I got to really pay attention to this. So now let's talk about the category of the day before the event. This is so crucial, and I go over it with everybody who's doing an event at their homes. Okay? This happens the day before the event. You must call to confirm all who said they're attending. Doesn't matter if they told you and called you 3 days before. Rule of thumb, you are going to call everyone. It doesn't matter if it's your sister. It doesn't matter if it's your mom. It doesn't matter if it's your best friend. Whoever said that they're attending your event, you're going to call them the day before and confirm their attendance. Let them know you are excited to see them at the event. Tell them to bring a friend or two. Don't ask them. Just say, hey, Jackie, bring a friend or two. Bring a friend or your neighbor. They're going to want to hear about this as well. They're going to want to experience the facelift system. Whatever, whether it's product-oriented or business-oriented. Again, tell them to bring a friend or two. Okay? Stress the importance of being on time. I'm going to talk about this in the event section. But stress the importance of whatever time you have. If you have a presentation or a demonstration that's going to start at a certain period of time, please make sure you stress the importance of them being on time and coming earlier. Again, invite twice as much as people as your goal the day before the event. If you know you want 10 people and you've talked to, you invited 15, guess what? You got another day to invite 5 more people to get to your goal. Okay? And the day before the event, you want to create a checklist. Okay? A checklist as far as where's the proper seating. Where am I going to be seating these people? Don't be doing this at the day of the event. You want to make sure you got proper cable wiring. If you're using a laptop or an HDMI cable, you're connecting the laptop to the TV. You got to make sure that you have everything you need and it's operable the day before, not the day of. You want to make sure you have the proper supplies, equipment needed. You got to make sure you have the sample cups. You have the right amount of kits. You got equipment necessary, the tables, again, the laptop, the CD, whatever it is. You got to make sure you have a checklist and you have all the things you need to make your event successful. You got to make sure you have the guides that you need, the enrollment forms, the order forms, whatever you're going to have, catalogs printed material, whether it's brochures, whether it's the ways that you can get started in NHD Global with our gold packages, with our platinum packages. You got to make sure you create that checklist and have them available and done the day before the event. What not to do in this category? You should not stop inviting the day before the event. You do not want to worry about how many have RSVP'd already. I only got 2 or 3. That's all in the mindset. It has nothing to do with anything but the energy that you're giving out there. So don't worry about it. If you're doing all the necessary things and you got the right mindset and you're seeing the end in mind, you're going to have the amount of people you want at your in-home. Don't wait until the day of the event to find out that your printer is out of, I put Income here. Well, actually, it is out of Income. It's out of ink, okay? Don't wait to find out the day of your event that your printer has no ink. Because guess what? Now stress kicks in and you're not prepared. You're not focusing on the right things. So be prepared. Do all this the day before the event. Now, let's talk about the event day, okay? This is where you set up your display, your demonstration area, your presentation area. This is the day where you should be having fun from the setup all the way to the start of the demonstration or the business presentation, whichever event you're going to have. You gotta have fun. This is where you let go all the things you've done 10, 12 days prior, and you're visualizing how successful the today is going to be. Product-oriented events, okay? Again, make sure that you start on time. You want to make sure that you welcome everyone. Introduce any special guests that you have for your product or event. Now, The tools to use. Again, I'm just giving you just some guidelines here. You could probably have more, but you got to have the facelift system, okay? You're going to have it to demonstrate with people. But you also got to have it, if you're having a product orientation, guess what? People are going to want to buy it right then and there. Don't do a product orientation and not have the 30-minute facelift kits, at least 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 of them at your home. Okay? Some people, if they don't have it right then and there to buy, they may not go online and buy. It's just the way it is. They can at least maybe fill out an order form where they put down their credit card and then you can order it for them that day, but have at least a couple of kits for people to buy from you right then and there. Okay? Also, the anti-wrinkle eye cream. That is a phenomenal product. The Time Restore Essence. These are products that you should have demonstrated on people. Now, you can also use any product videos, whether it's the Allura, the 30-minute non-surgical facelift system. You can put on the known. You can introduce the wellness products. You can introduce any other products. While they're on their 30-minute non-surgical facelift treatment, folks, they can't talk. They can't move a lot because they don't want to break the mask. This is where you have their undivided attention. This is where you can share your product story. This is where you can, again, share your testimonial on your favorite product. Perhaps you can offer a free product for those who want to host a similar event at their home. This is where you can tell them anything you want. This is where you ask for the sale. This is where you can do whatever it is you want because you have their undivided attention. Now, let's bring your attention to the business-oriented. If you're having an event day and it's business-oriented, there's some things that just don't change. You got to start on time. You cannot have people that come on time and get a phone call and say, well, so-and-so is on their way. You cannot wait till that so-and-so is on their way to start your presentation. If you got 1 or 2 people that were there on time, you are starting that event. Now, those are people that obviously plan, and there's things that happens, weather, circumstances. We get that. That's okay. We're not punishing the person that's not coming on time. We're rewarding the person that is on time. And what it states is that you're serious about your business and your commitment to what you said. Because remember, the day before, what do? You stress the importance in starting on time. Okay? If you have a special guest that's doing a presentation with you, for you, you want to introduce that special guest. Tools that you use. Very simple. If you're doing a business presentation, you can use a PowerPoint where you present it, or a PowerPoint where one of your teammates, your upline, is presenting, or you can, again, after you introduce anybody or you welcome everybody, you pop in the recorded webinar, whether you use YouTube, whether you use your desktop, however you want to do it, and you let that do the presentation. You want to make sure, regardless of what tool you use for the presentation, that you share your story of why you got involved and then your vision of what you're going to be doing with the future of your NHG Global business. And you want to let them know that they can enroll tonight. After your presentation, they can be part of your team tonight. And if there's any special event or a promotion that's going on, you want to make sure that you're promoting that as well. What not to do in this category? Again, don't start late. Don't have any pets loose. I know there's a lot of people that, oh, they're pet lovers, but there's some people they may just say that. You don't want them focusing on, oh, is that cat going to come on me? Is that dog going to come and jump on me? That's not what they're there for. Make sure you lock your pets somewhere where, again, there's not barking. You don't want that distraction. Again, just little things that you may not think of that I've experienced at in-home events over the last 12 years that took away the energy. Don't have kids run around. Hey, this is a home-based business, and you're having an in-home event, and it's part of the business process. It's part of our freedom. You have kids. That's okay. But don't have kids running around where the presentation is happening. okay? Or kids are going to be asking questions on mom and dad while the presentation. There's some people that are very serious about this event who may not have kids who, again, perception is everything, may take away from the importance of this event because in their mind, that's a distraction. No small talking during a presentation. Sometimes I'll do a presentation or somebody's doing a presentation and maybe you got a guest that's really there for support. They're not really interested, but they're there and they start small talk in the background. You got to make sure that that doesn't occur. And that stems from the leadership of the people. It's very important that that does not occur during a presentation. You want to make sure that you don't answer questions during the presentation. Why? And there's a way that you can say, that is a great question. You can answer it maybe in a sentence or two, but say that you'll expand on that in details after the presentation for the sake of time. So then, again, we're not here for another 20 or 30 minutes. Great question. I'm going to answer that at the end because you're going to stick around for questions and comments at the end of the presentation. Don't be asking questions during the presentation, and don't be afraid to say that you'll answer questions at the end of the presentation. Serving meals. Folks, you do not have to serve food at this event. Now, you can have cheese and crackers, maybe a vegetable tray, but definitely serve water. And definitely sample out at least the Levine because it's a great tasting product. You can sample out Trifusion or Noni if you want, but I would say sample and have water there. You don't want people to feel like they have to cook a meal because the people should not be coming for the meal. They should be coming for the information that can change their life forever. So don't focus too much on food. Focus on, again, the information and the excitement and the energy of the presentation or the demonstration, whatever you're going to be doing, okay? So focus on other things after the presentation. Do not focus on other things after the presentation. What do I mean by that? After a presentation, you shouldn't go up to your guests and start talking about your neighbors or start talking about, the baseball team with your kids and stuff. It takes away the importance of why they are there. So, again, you can get more details on each of this from, again, with your teammates to talk about this. Again, I'm just keeping it very basic, similar here. But if you want to learn more about these, you can contact me. You can contact, the other NHT leaders. But, again, the focus of that day is strictly on providing valuable information, how people can change their life with our opportunity, and how people can change the way they look and feel via our products. Now, last category, the day after an event. Folks, this is crucial. Do not miss this step. This is, it's basically following up. You hear this all the time. The money is in the follow-up, okay? You got to call everyone who attended and thank them. Distributors, guests, you call everyone and you thank them. Now, this is now, again, the follow-up process. I'm not going to go over the follow-up process because we've got tons of training on that. I've also done following up, how to have a successful follow-up. What questions do you ask? You can learn that on the other webinar training that's recorded. But again, if they haven't enrolled that day or they didn't buy that day, again, this is a follow-up process. This is the next step. You thank them, and basically ask them what they best liked about the information or what they best liked about the event. Ask them that, okay? Call everyone who didn't show up, who was supposed to show up, who RSVP'd, and tell them that they missed a great event. Now, here's the best thing about people not showing up, because now you can call them and give them another tool to review your business or to review your products. So you can schedule either a follow-up appointment or to schedule to meet them one-on-one. Hey, you missed a phenomenal event. I'm sorry you didn't attend. Listen, why don't we meet for coffee, or why don't you come over to my house? How does tomorrow look? And, you could do the facial at my home. Or I can come over to your house if you're having a facial event. But if you're having a business event, why don't you come over to my house and I'll do a presentation exclusive for you if you're serious about, changing your future with a business model that can change your life. Okay? So the best thing about people who don't show up is that, hey, you got a follow-up to do, and you can schedule an appointment with another tool. Write down what you felt needed improvement at your in-home event. What was it? Maybe the display was farther away from this. Maybe you didn't do something timely that you can write down for the next in-home. Maybe whatever it is, write down what you feel could been better at your event. Now, what not to do in this category the day after? It's very simple. There's only two. Do not call those who didn't show, and do not call those that showed. It's that simple. Now, here's my suggestion for all women NHT distributors, okay? I encourage all of you, if you're brand new to NHT Global, or you want to catapult your business and start building momentum. Now, again, you don't have to do in-homes to build your NHT Global business, but I'll tell you, man, is it a phenomenal leverage tool to create excitement and to build a business local to your community that can excel and explode internationally. Host a demonstration event at your home, followed by a business event 2 weeks after that. As you get people who love the products, they experienced it, they bought, they may want to know about the opportunity. Even if they didn't want to know about the opportunity right then and there, they may want to, because now they love the products. They want to share it and perhaps make money. This is just a suggestion, okay? It's kind of like a call to action for women distributors. Host a demonstration event at your home and follow it up by a business event 2 weeks after that. You can let everybody at the first event know, I'm going to be holding an event that can share with you how you can build a business with these products just like I am doing. For NHT distributors, men, I encourage you to host a business event at your home, followed by another business event 2 weeks after that. Because remember, you enroll 2 or 3 people. Now you've got 2 or 3 people in your organization who will also invite to your home as you continue to invite your home. That's how you get an organization that starts with 2 or 3 people in 3 months. And this is why I say you can change your life in 90 days. With 2 or 3 people, if you build to event to event to event, in 90 days, you could be having hundreds of people in your organization. And what does that mean from a cycling aspect, folks? That means residual income. That means money that keeps growing into your bank account. That means an international business. That means leverage. That means residual income. But it all starts by you, again, doing an in-home event at your home. You don't have to do this alone, okay? You work with your upline to create ideas, excitement, and for the sole purpose of what? And that is to build your business. And so that's basically my training here today on the importance of doing an in-home, the different categories of the in-home, what to do, what not to do, have fun, keep it simple, and again, really begin the end in mind. Some of you guys may not have experience or have done an in-home event. Guess what? You know what the beauty of it is? Work it with your upline partner, the person who enrolled you or somebody in your upline, and schedule this together. We've had people who's done in-home, invited 10, 20 people, and we had a special guest that was doing it through Skype. They didn't even have to be there present. There's so many ways that you can have an in-home event. If you're not the presenting type, you're not just the high energy type, you know, there's way that you can still make an in-home event successful, but you don't have to do this and create this by yourself. The person who you're working with would love to help you put an event together, whether they show up or not, they can still help you make your in-home event successful. And I'm telling you, it can take your business to a level that, again, you can start seeing the success of your future here in NHT Global. So I want to thank you for joining us here today. I hope I shared some great nuggets with all of you. I know there's a lot of people that are listening right now that has some in-homes that are scheduling next week. There's some that's happening in a couple of weeks. People are maybe thinking about one, and hopefully I got you to go from a thinking mode to actually scheduling one. And remember, before you even think about anything else, look at the decision category and just make the decision that you're going to do one. And guess what? The rest will take care of themselves by just following each of those categories. So thank you so much for joining here today. This is recorded. You'll be able to have this access 24/7. I want to thank all the leaders here at NHT Global, and we look forward to hearing you on our call for our next leadership training next Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.